After a wild finish in Philadelphia last night, the Edmonton Oilers hopped on a plane, got the fuck out of that place with 2 points, don't even know how, and they headed on over to Columbus, Ohio for a meeting with the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight for the second time in 4 nights. Both teams playing 3 games in their last 4. Maybe there's some bad blood. Who knows? Freddie, don't do it again. I don't want to see you do it again. You proved your points. Also, you may be wondering, yes, Drake May also plays football tonight for the Patriots. Got a little Jets-Pats division game going on. Truly a wonderful Thursday night sports night. But hello and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Bet365. Download the app today, because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I am joined by the one, the only one Oilersnation writer, Sean Panganiban, Bordzy and Pangsy, who my boy was under the weather recently. You feeling better?
I'm feeling good, and just being here, honestly, my overall health and well-being is uplifted now.
Goddamn right, brother. Goddamn right. We are live from Dogpatch down in the River Valley, like we will be all season long. And Banger, I told myself I was going to take at least a week off of booze, and I wasn't going to drink. And then they offered me one single beer, and I cracked absolutely immediately, because that's the service you get down here at Dogpatch. Would you please?
Cheers.
Would you please?
And I said the same thing. After feeling like crap the last few days, I said, there ain't no way I'm going to have a beer. And then Bordzy has a beer, and he's like, you got to have a beer, bro. And I'm like, I'm having a beer. So
Thursday, basically Friday. I also like that we both, before that, cheers. Both went down. Part of me wanted to chug that thing right there, but we're not going to do that. Let's get caught up into the chat right now, because Austin, not the first comment of the day. We need a wellness check on him, because I'm concerned and worried. And it was actually Payton, who he did walk in and said hello right before he went home. And he says, Janmark goal. Janmark goal? No, that's not going to happen. Lance Kane says, Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Bella's in. We've had a few scrappy wins. That's putting it lightly. That's a nice way to say it for the Oilers. I'd say lucky as shit, but we don't apologize for dubs. Now, let's please get a dominant, high-energy win to build on the energy. Lance also says Janmark is the glue guy. Hey, since his return, facts are facts, stats are stats. Janmark gets dubs, and he finds a way to do it. Sasky Girl Oil Fan is in. Fire me up, Bordzy. Goddamn right. I won't be commenting till I am done cooking supper. What's for dinner tonight? We were talking about the Dogpatch menu, which, people, if you don't even want to come and hang out with me and Pangs and Brett, that's nuts. We're a fun time or a good vibe. The food down here at Dogpatch, I am slowly making my way through the entire menu. You were just talking about getting a delicious borscht. Did I say that correct?
I think so.
I think I did too. Have you ever had borscht? It's absolutely amazing. It's like Ukrainian or Russian beet soup.
Purple soup.
It stains your teeth, but it is absolutely delicious. I'm getting the pasta tonight. Still haven't had that one, so I'm excited for that. Some people saying the chat's broken right now. I know, you guys are fine. You're all in here. And then there's Austin. He says the chat is broken. I actually was the first of the day. Ha, 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 ha. I put it down at 2:45. We've been having a weird thing where I think the events are getting like created twice. People are commenting in one, maybe not the other. Voice of bread, voice of God, which I noticed when I lean back, lights up my whole face. Brett, talk to me, baby. What's going on?
Yeah, no. So yes, you kind of explained it perfectly. As we have created these events, for some reason, our stream distributor keeps pumping out 2, and then we go live, and it's like, actually, you probably can't go live here, and then we have to remake a whole new one. So really, there's like 4 that's being made. I put in the chat, this is the right chat. So if you do not see that chat from the Oilersnation YouTube, then you are not in the right chat. But all the other streams that are not this one have been deleted. So if you're here, welcome. You made it.
Stay a while. Come hang. Have a beer. Come on down to Dogpatch. Also, I love just feeling like Brett is the literal voice of God when he just pops into our ears. It's pretty dope. But Banger, we talked about it last night on After Dark, right? And I don't think there's any other way to describe it than that the Oilers are on the most fucked up 2-game win streak I've ever seen, because I think it's fair to argue they deserved yesterday's win, but I mean, it takes an Owen Tippett absolute brain fart for that one to not. The Oilers were so close to walking away with 0 points. They end up leaving with 2 in their pockets, but hey, there's been some luck so far on these last 2 games. Obviously, against the Columbus Blue Jackets in that third period, it takes a shorthanded, last-minute, game-tying goal from a defenseman out of a lucky bounce to get it into OT. And then, hey, Stuart Skinner, big stop. Jack Roslovic finds a way to get it done. Same thing yesterday. Owen Tippett, the brain fart, and then another Stuart Skinner big save, which leads to another Jack Roslovic overtime winner for the Oilers. But last night, there were at least signs of life, right? We were on one trajectory of, man, this is going to be the best post-game show ever. It feels like they're only up 1-0, but the Oilers are dominating. The shots were like 22-5 at one point. You felt great about the Oilers. And then it started to fall apart a little bit. It was most notably Philadelphia's fourth line. It was Delorier, Garnet, Hathaway. They were bringing the energy shifts. Jake Wallman takes a hook. Mitchkov buries. And then before you know it, you kind of look down and you're like, wait, holy shit, we're in an absolute dogfight right now with the Flyers. Some good luck in overtime, or right before overtime, I'll say. You got to be lucky to be good to be lucky, or just plain stupid if you're Owen Tippett. What did you think of yesterday's game? Because, as I mentioned, there was a lot to be happy about, and there's the classic Oilers. Struggle to get out of their own way at points. What'd you think? What was your takeaway last night?
Love them or hate them, there's never a dull moment with the Edmonton Oilers. I thought with the game before was a stepping stone game, and I thought the Oilers, they were going in that direction. I can't say dominated per se, but they were controlling play. They were cycling very well. They were getting shots on net. I think at one point it seemed like the shots were like 23-8. I could be wrong, but it was something like that. And like you said, it seemed like the Oilers were in cruise control. But like we've seen many times throughout the season, they took their foot off the gas. Maybe it was that fourth line stepping on the gas a little bit extra, like taking it to the Oilers. So maybe it's a combination of both. Oilers let off the gas, let the Flyers get back in. Oilers got lucky last night, but hey, we got the W.
We don't apologize. Yeah, it really was. And that's what Philly, we know. Somebody said it last night, that the modern Broad Street Bullies, because they like to hit, they like to fight, they like to bring that energy. And when they had absolutely no pulse in that hockey game yesterday, a couple of those energy shifts, they got back into it. The Oilers could learn something from that, I believe, in that when it's not going your way, maybe you fight your way back in. Trent Frederick, don't fight Mathieu Olivier, though. Might be the wrong guy. What'd you think about that? Let's talk about that just quickly. Awesome from Freddie. We were begging for it. You need to do something. You need to be a physical guy. You need to fight.
Yep.
Shitty, he picked the toughest guy in the NHL and got his eye absolutely shut. But hey, the message was sent.
Edmonton is full of blue-collared workers, and I love the fact that Trent Frederick finally put on his hard hat and he went to work, because most of the season, the things that he can bring, aside from, he can bring some scoring, he can bring physicality, he can bring that nastiness, that gamesmanship, shape, dropping the gloves. We haven't seen a lot from it, so credit to him, knowing all day that he's going to be dropping the mitts with one of the baddest MFers in the NHL in Mathieu Olivier, and he answered the bell, I'd say, to the city, to the Oilers fans. He got his ass kicked, but credit to him for doing it. Awesome.
And then even yesterday, getting in a couple scrums where you kind of feel bad for the guy, and I'm sure the opposition is like, I don't totally want to punch you in the face right now. I will. But that boy looks swollen. Also, Calvin Pickard, tonight's starting goaltender. He's in the chat, and he says, hey, guys. Hey, what up, Picks?
Hey, man.
Looking for a bounce-back effort from our pal Cal. Nick also says, you have to hit like in order to enter the correct chat. I like that. I like that strategy, Nick. I appreciate that. Also, I don't know if California Oilers fans legit said, so I show up to Greta for my first time in Edmonton. You guys aren't here. What the fuck? I hope you're kidding. I hope that's not true. I'll come to Greta right now if you're down there. We'll have a good time. But we're Dogpatch for right now. The other thing about last night, dude, once again, Jack Roslovic, Brett, I want the wording right now. Give it to me, voice of God. What did he score last night?
Overtime winner!
That hits like absolute crack. I'll say it like crack. 2 OT winners in a row. He had the breakaway one, obviously, against the Columbus Blue Jackets. And then last night finishes off a beautiful 2-on-0 with Matthew Savoy, where he dragged his foot across the blue line to stay onside. It is the first time that an Edmonton Oilers scored back-to-back OT winners since Andrew Cogliano, who had, dude, when I looked it up, shout out Jason Greger for the GDB today, one hell of a week in March of 2008. So he scored an OT winner against Columbus to give the Oilers a 2-1 win. 2 nights later, he does it again for the Oilers in a comeback victory, 6-5 over Chicago. And then 2 nights after that, the Oilers have a 3-0 lead. They blow the lead against the Blues, comes into overtime, and who else but Andrew Cogliano? And the craziest part, I told you pre-show, Cogs played 1,291 career NHL games. Those are the 3 only overtime winners he has in his entire career. So hey, maybe there's something too. It comes in spurts. It's hot streaks there. Do you remember anything about that streak at that time?
I got a really good story about that streak. At that time, he was living with Sam Gagne at Ethan Morrow's house.
The boys.
After that game, I actually picked up one of my lady friends from their house, and she did the walk of shame in the morning. Yeah, I was a good friend. Picked her up in the morning. That's pretty much all I remember from that.
Good guy Pangs. Good guy Pangs. That does sound like Cogs and Gags from what I've heard. It's a couple stories from back in the day. Nothing like Ebbs and Halsey, though. We've all heard those stories. Those boys are top. But my question to you.
I was actually at that game against the St. Louis Blues when he won, scored the game winner, and everybody knew it. Everybody went nuts. They actually took his stick, and it's in the Hockey Hall of Fame for the 3 goals as well. But I remember sitting in the second whatever tier at Rexall Place right behind the Oilers net, and you saw it materialize, and I tapped my dad going, it's going to happen. And he scored right there. It was unbelievable. Everybody in Rexall kind of knew that it was going to happen.
That's an all-time moment. That hasn't been done in 17 years. So there's been a couple of guys. 2 other players this season have had back-to-back OT winners. Adrian Kempe, Cole Caulfield. 3 guys did it last year with back-to-back OT winners. It's Jack Roslovic, 2 in a row. Shot out of a cannon. Does he score another OT winner tonight against Columbus? Does he?
I think so.
I think the Oilers, both teams are playing 3 and 4 nights. I think this game's going to be sloppy as shit. I think there's going to be some energy in there, and I would not be the least shocked if it went to OT.
Yeah, the Oilers, they're kind of on this weird little mojo spree, right? They haven't had luck all season, and they're getting it in very fortunate bounces, right? So the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if Roslovic scores his 3rd OT winner in a row.
Brad, I'd be curious. Can you look at what it is on Bet365 and put it in the chat? What is it for this game to go to overtime? Because I might sprinkle on that a little bit. I feel it in my bones, in my plums, as the man above, Brett, would say. But I guess while we're on the topic, Jack Roslovic, let's talk about him for a minute. He has been a revelation for the Edmonton Oilers so far this season. He is looking like an absolute bona fide top 6 talent and a guy who is here to stay, at least for this one season, at $1.5 million, which still blows my mind. If you ask me, he's a $6 million talent in this new NHL. Reminder, we always have to adjust our brains to the new salary cap and whatnot, but in his first 7 games, Roslovic had 1 point. We talked to Rob Shrimp. He said, you got to give a guy 10 games to figure it out. Well, in his last 9 games, Jack Roslovic has 5 goals, 5 assists, and he scored big goals. He looks so comfortable with Leon Draisaitl and Vasily Podkolzin. He's even now fit in well on power play 1. When you're without the Nuge, you're still without Zach Hyman. My question, Pangs, do we finally have an offensively gifted player who is talented enough or deserving enough even to play with one Leon Draisaitl? Because we know, joke last night Coombsy made was, I think he's a little bit better than Kasperi Cheeks Kapanen. And that's no slight at Kapanen, but last year Leon had an MVP caliber season. He was playing with Pods, who we love once again, and has been great on that trio, and Kapanen. And neither of those guys are stereotypical top 6 talents. He finally might have one here in Jack Roslovic. What have you thought of him and that trio that's kind of building right now with Leon and Pods?
Yeah, with Roslovic, when he signed that 1-year deal with the Oilers, he likely envisioned a best-case scenario. Play with Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, get power play time because Zach Hyman's out, get opportunities in overtime because Nugent, whatever. Like, he envisioned the best-case scenario, and it's happening right now. Jack Roslovic is so silky and so smooth. He reminds me of, like, a winger, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, maybe 15% more offense, 15% less defense. Just the way he just can slide in and just work well with that line. So with that line, with him, Podkolzin, and Leon Draisaitl, you got the classic skilled puck retriever in Podkolzin. You got the playmaking maestro scorer in Leon Draisaitl. And then Jack Roslovic, the one-shot threat, dynamite line.
They've looked so good. We'll talk about Leon Draisaitl a little bit later on because I do think it's crazy to say for a man who has 10 goals on the season. I do think we could ask a little bit more of Leon, but Roslovic, he's the straw that stirs that second line drink right now. And as I see Jake Wallman, love it, got us in the room right now, says that second line is buzzing. Austin also says re-sign Ross now. Hey, the Oilers got money to spend next season. Also, Dre says, Bordzy, you are so handsome in that jersey. It's not me. It's just Drake May, baby, and I'm so excited to watch him play football. This is a hockey show, but Drake May is the MVP front runner right now, the youngest. No, I'm doing it again. I'm not going to do it. We're not going to do it tonight. I deserve that one, and damn it, Brett in that soundboard. It's just he's on it tonight. It's a rematch against the Columbus Blue Jackets, though. The Oilers, as we talked, snatched a victory from the Jackets the other night, and the Jackets, the deserved a win-o-meter was 66% in their favor in that hockey game, which once again is not an exact science, but it's good enough for a guy like me, especially when they put it in pie form chart, whatever they do. I'm a visual learner. It helps a guy like me. Captain Boone Jenner had a quote afterwards. It's tough when you put in that many good minutes. I thought we were in complete control of the game right from the start. And Panger, I tend to agree with one Captain Boone Jenner. It took some craziness from the Oilers. I'm curious what the bounce back will be from Columbus. When they lost to the Oil, that was their fourth loss in a row. They did grab a dub yesterday against the Seattle Kraken, or not yesterday, 2 days ago, against the Seattle Kraken. That one went to a shootout as well. So they did finally get their win back. Jet Greaves, we both discussed. Who? I don't totally know who that is. More on him later. He obviously played the last game against the Oilers. He played against the Oil, then played the second half of the back-to-back against the Kraken, and now he plays again tonight. What kind of quality hockey game are we getting tonight? Both teams, 3 and 4 nights. But there's also emotion involved in here, and both teams, while the Oilers are on a 2-game win streak, you could argue both are struggling on the ice.
I think on the Columbus Blue Jackets end, we're going to see their best coming out. Their collapse was all over the highlight reels. Connor McDavid posterizing, a couple defensemen there. So I think over the last 4 days, they've had time to reflect on where they went wrong, which is you can't really stop Connor McDavid, really, but they have time to reflect. So I think tonight they're going to come out strong in front of their hometown crowd.
Yeah, I see Nixon says picks with a quality start tonight, calling it now with a thumbs up. Liam won't be on Oilers Nation every day tomorrow, but believe me, we will get his. That's how we do it. We're no longer on a save percentage podcast. We're a quality start. It's either gladiator style, rather kill you. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Also, Southpaw said Pregaming with Bordzy is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Thank you, Brett, for the laugh track. And Mistaken says Jets are about to win tonight, as in the New York Jets' brother. I don't want to say anything. This is a trap game for the Patriots right now. Drake's the MVP front runner, 8-2. You're playing the dog shit New York Jets Thursday night. But Drake May ain't going to let me down. Mike Vrabel's not going to let me down. Let's go now to your need-to-know information courtesy of Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet, sweet Will Hawk name, made from 100% Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. Or for more info and to get your jerky on, head on over to willhawkbeefjerky.com. So the Oilers, obviously, second half of a back-to-back. They did not skate this morning, but we got a couple lineup notes for you. So, Bert, I've got up there. Throw it down for me. Shout out our boy, Jason Greger. So, Zach Hyman will not make his season debut tonight. However, some good news. Just got to confirm from Tony Barr. He will play on Saturday against the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's go, baby. Ike Howard and Ty Emerson were both skating with Zach Hyman this morning. So that means they're both going to be up in the press box, while Alec Regula and one David Tommy Smokes is going to be back in the lineup. We know Calvin Pickard is going to get the start second half of a back-to-back. Both teams, as he points out, like I mentioned, 3 games in 4 nights, and Jet Greaves going again for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And the Oilers in Columbus, It's one of those ones that just doesn't make sense. I don't totally get it, but the Oilers haven't had a win in Columbus since 2019. They have lost their last 4 straight games in Columbus. They lost 5-2 in 2022, 6-5 in 2023, almost 4-2 in 24, and then 6-1 in October of last year. This is once again only in Columbus. Edmonton is also, so I was thinking about, can you think of any other teams on the road that the Oilers struggle against? Anything that pops to your head immediately? Minnesota is the first one that popped to my head, but lately we're turning the tide on that. But then Greg's had it. The Oilers have lost 4 in a row in Toronto. 0-3-1. They did get 1 loser point in there, so not as bad as Columbus. I don't want anyone to have any records over us like that, but boring ass Columbus and the Toronto Maple Leafs, that needs to change this season. And then finally, Calvin Pickard, he's going to get the start. 2-2-1 record, a 4.00 goals against average, with an .836 save percentage. Those are just numbers. As there you see the tail of the tape. Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. Stu, back up to an .889. Had a .950 Stu last night. He looked pretty good. And Calvin Pickard, he needs a bounce back here. He needs bounce back performance. It obviously hasn't gone as good as he'd like this year, I think, and we'll touch on it in the starting goaltenders. That also really has to do with the team in front of him. But good news, mediocre news. In his career, Pickard 3-1 record against Columbus, .298, .883 save percentage. So it's an improvement from his current numbers. Let's ride Cal. On the other side, the Blue Jackets, they are 8-7-1 on the season, which weirdly enough is 8th in the Metro Division, but they are actually only 2 points out of a playoff spot. Mushy middle has been the term of the week so far to describe the NHL, because there's only a couple teams below 500. There you get a look at the Metropolitan Division. The Jackets, they're down there with the Capitals. Once again, too early to be looking at this kind of stuff, but just an idea, gauge of how it's going on in the Eastern Conference. The stats for the Jackets, they're not all too that flattering. Bert, you want to throw up the head-to-head between both squads? There's my boy. So there you see it. Their goals against, hey, it's a little bit better than the Edmonton Oilers. But look at those special teams numbers. Not good for the Jackets. So you think an area, especially that PK, when you especially look at that Oilers power play, looking pretty good. Look at that Oilers PK, nice. Brother. We talked about it all offseason. They were dog shit regular season last year. Dog shit kind of in the playoffs. They lose Connor Brown. They lose some guys. And then all of a sudden, this new unit, they've looked awesome. They had killed off 10 in a row yesterday. 2 big kills in the third period to even get it to go to overtime. Thoughts on the PK?
Yeah, credit to the PK. I want to give credit to one player in particular on the PK. That's Matt Savoy. He's one of the top forwards on the PK unit. And ever since Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been out of the lineup, when they've gotten penalties, him along with Adam Henrique have been the first forwards sent out there to kill the penalty. And both those 2 players, I think they work in sync, always have good sticks. So overall, their forwards are making smart plays out there. And the defenses are making big blocks too.
Timeout on everything, because Lisa just said, Aaron, I love Drake May. So I didn't know that my new coworker is also a Drake May fan. No, I don't like that. The other thing for the Jackets, 17th goals per game, 19th in goals allowed, pretty mid. They allow 31.6 shots against per game. That's 29th in the NHL. Shot prop bets tonight? I think so. Thank you very much. I got a couple of those working. And then obviously special teams, not great. Kirill Marchenko leads the way offensively for the Blue Jackets. He's the only player above a point per game this season. He's got 18 in 16 games. Adam Fantilli, we got to look at him on Monday. We obviously looked at this team on Monday. Zach Werenski, they both have 11 and 16. While Werenski is averaging 26 minutes and 45 seconds of time on ice per night. That's a lot. We're going to be seeing him a ton in this hockey game. And then finally, Jet Greaves going to get the start. 289, 901. He's had a good season. Let's not kid ourselves, all right? I'm not losing to Jet Greaves tonight. Knock on wood.
Could you imagine how Jet Greaves felt today when Dean Eves, Dino, whoever, how you say his name, comes into the office and goes, hey, Jet, you're starting tonight?
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
Probably something like that.
Execution, Brett. Perfect execution. I love that. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I saw it that he was getting to confirm once again. 24 years young. Milk him dry while you got him. I mean, do whatever you got to do. I don't know how that being Elvis Merzlikins must feel in a situation like that. And like his numbers aren't terrible, I wouldn't say this season, but it just ain't working out in Columbus, it feels like, for our guy, Elvis. We go now, storyline, key to victory. Play along in the chat. What are you looking for? We kind of touched on it earlier. I would love to sit here and say my storyline, my key to victory is a 60-minute effort. You played 30 minutes yesterday. You can do that again. This is the Columbus Blue Jackets. But Panger, the realist in me is saying 3 games in 4 nights. This one might be a rock fight, might be a slugfest. Any means necessary, grab the win. We can work on the finer details maybe on Saturday against Carolina, which I get is a tougher team, but with a day of rest in between, for me tonight, it's any means necessary. Find a way to get this W. If that means leaning on your star players, find a way. Freddie, please keep your face down and don't be doing that again tonight. Your point was made. I think it's just find a way to get the dub done. I wish I had a better storyline. I had written down other things, and then Brett and I talked about it, and I was like, yeah, man, like these boys got to be tired. This is the second game now of your 7-game road trip. Get the dub, get the points, get the hell out of Columbus.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a key to the game for me tonight, obviously the stars, Roslovic, McDavid, Draisaitl, they're going to be trying their best. But at the same time, Columbus is going to be trying their best to shut them down. I think for me, it comes down to the bottom 6, which hasn't really produced for the Oilers much this season. And we talked about this earlier, and I'm going to say it. Peyton called a Matthias Janmark goal. I'm going to say this. Since Matthias Janmark has returned to the lineup, he's third on the Oilers with a 69.23 shots for percentage, 9-4 since the last 2 games. Matthias Janmark has tilted the ice in the Oilers' favor, so I'm looking for a Janmark goal tonight.
Immediately runs to see if he has shots on goal for Janmark. Nope, not available, but Janmark to score a goal tonight. Keep scrolling. Plus 800. Fuck it, I'm in. Fuck it, I'm in. Let's go. I like that. Again, you can only argue with facts for so long. Janmark is, maybe he's the good luck charm. Maybe he's the reason the tides are turning here for the Oilers, and suddenly we're getting these bounces. Let's go now. I don't think we have confirmed lineups right now yet. We're still 31 minutes away from getting a confirmation of what we got going on. But hey, let's talk about Oodle Noodle quickly. Because yesterday, Panger, we're getting Dogpatch tonight. But last night, we ordered 3 orders of nudes, 4 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls between me, Brett, and Coombsy. That is one of the best meals I've had in a minute. It was beautiful. Wasn't that shitty-ass buffet food you get down in the DR. I brought up vacation again. I'm sorry. I'm adjusting back. Oodle Noodle, you should download their app today, and I mean this thoroughly. We've got 2 weeks here of early-ass games for the Oilers. You don't want to come home and cook. You don't want to be in the kitchen. What you want to do is, A, come down to Dogpatch. But if that's not going to be an option, Oodle Noodle is the second best thing to do there. They deliver, obviously. They're on DoorDash. They're on all kinds of things. But sign up on the actual app. You can earn loyalty points. And then, who doesn't love making your food earn you more free food? I've been saying this repeatedly. I've become such a modern coupon guy. Every food place I go, I have an account, a number. I'm earning points because it's beautiful. What do you think about Oodle Noodle? It's fantastic. You know.
Oh, ginger beef. Can't go wrong. And yeah, with that app, can't go wrong with free 99. Absolutely.
Oh, the Super Gremlin's in the chat right now. He says, tuning in from Foxborough, puked all over Bordzy's jersey. LOL. If you puked on my Randy Moss jersey, I swear, and he's the puker. He's the puker in the group, this guy. That's the Super Gremlin. Duck. Run upstairs. Crotch the weed, man. I forget what I was saying because now the Super Gremlin's in here. Go Pats. I gave him my Randy Moss jersey, so hopefully it's a good luck, but I actually believe him that he's definitely going to puke on my jersey. The one thing I want to mention, Brett, let us know when we get confirmed lineups for the Edmonton Oilers, as they should be hitting the ice pretty soon here. But the guy I want to talk about, Panger, we've slightly mentioned him, but it's one Matt Savoy, because he had arguably his best game in the season last night, which, yes, the points showed up. I would argue he's been playing kind of that good all season long. He was due for a 2-point night like that. got 2 points, obviously, 1 assisted on the Evan Bouchard goal in the first period, and then a beautiful 2-on-0 feed on over to Jack Roslovic, who, that guy doesn't hesitate when he shoots the puck. It's another thing on Roslovic that I really appreciate about his game. So you look at Savoy, he's only got 4 points in 18 games this season, but he has consistently been trending upwards for a bit now here for the Edmonton Oilers, and I think the promotion of up to the first line is evidence of that, right? And I was kind of Jay and Tyler were arguing about it today on ONE, but I love the way that Chris Knoblauch has approached Matt Savoy, an incredibly young player, and that we all knew he's going to be a part of this team this season. We saw what he did in the AHL last year. He's too good to be down in the minors. But I like that Nobby just didn't right out of the get-go give him a top 6 opportunity. I mean, he kind of did, but he made him work on the 4th line, the 3rd line, let him find a role on the penalty kill for this team. And then when opportunity strikes, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goes down. And once again, yes, Savoy got bits and pieces of those opportunities, but the blender would be out. He'd be off the line immediately. It feels like right now that he's worked his way up to this role, and now you've got Nuge out for a week. Zach Hyman will return on Saturday, but another game where I fully expect Matt Savoy to run with Connor McDavid. And the thing is that he's totally earned some leash here from Chris Knoblauch, that even if he does have a fuck up here, a fuck up there, we know what he's capable of. We saw it last night. Everything for Savoy is kind of going according to plan thus far this season.
Absolutely. To me, Matt Savoy has played good all season. It just wasn't being reflected on the score sheet. As mentioned, he's good defensively. He takes care of his own end. He plays the right way. And throughout the season, if the NHL handed out 3rd assists, you'd have at least a few more helpers on the game. I know.
I love that. I love
the
that.
game against the Montreal Canadiens, the game winner with Pods, he set up the entire play. He just didn't get credited for an assist on that play. So Matt Savoy, he's now getting rewarded on the score sheet like last game. And that feed in overtime against the Flyers, when he got the puck, I was wondering, I'm like, when's he going to pass it? When's he going to pass it? Oh, he passed it at the right perfect time, no look. So Roslovic just had an open cage to shoot at, and he buried it. So Matt Savoy's confidence is riding high. Nobby, let him ride with Connor McDavid.
I'd like to say that even I could bury that feed off of Matt Savoy into an open cage. I think I could. I think I would. But I don't know, man. But Matt Savoy, he's been awesome. Also, you're talking about sick-ass feeds. Do you remember yesterday in the first period? It was Jack Roslovic and Pods coming down on a 2-on-1. It was the first period. Rossi the whole way, head up. I don't even know how the hell he got it around. Right on the tape of Podkolzin, and who shot it directly into the chest of Dan Vladar. But that's what I would have done. Like, see, that's actually incredibly relatable. Pods, I love the shit out of you. Keep shooting, keep trying. So then we did mention Roslovic, Pods. And I want to talk about the 3rd guy on that trio, and it does not bring me joy to say this. I don't feel good about this, and once again, no one come at me. I'm not telling Leon Draisaitl how to play NHL hockey. I would never do that. But Panger, is it crazy to say that last night out of that trio that Leon Draisaitl was the worst player on that line? Because I thought it was pretty obvious. He looked disengaged at points. We all get it. We've all seen it before with Leon Draisaitl. It's not totally anything new, but Roslovic was the one bringing the energy. Podkolzin looked awesome, driving to the net, shooting the puck, even at goalie's chest, but he was still shooting the puck. And Leon Draisaitl, once again, has 10 goals on the season thus far. So I'm not even totally shit-talking him, but there's been a dip recently, and it feels like maybe even a dip in attitude. We couldn't find the clip, me and Brett, but I saw it on X.com recently, and it was Bouchard in overtime talking to Leon on the bench, and he just wasn't listening in the slightest. He kind of rolled his eyes at Bouchard, and we all know Pissy Leon. That's what makes Leon Leon. Kent Johnson's going to be on the ice tonight, so maybe Pissy Leon will be out, but last year, he, in my opinion, was the MVP frontrunner all season long, obviously, and ended up going to Connor Hellebuck. And right now, he's got one of the best line mates I've ever seen Leon get a consistent run with that wasn't named Connor, Nuge, not even Hyman. He barely ever plays with Hyman. And we had Steve Peters, who's a former video coach in the NHL, video analyst for ESPN, and he kind of prepared a package for us today. And it was comparisons to last year to this year for Leon Draisaitl. And it was basically, you don't have to spare your eyes, that Leon Draisaitl is not going to the middle of the ice this year, whether that is with the puck where he's not shooting in the middle of the ice, kind of passing off to another one, or just straight up being really content hanging out in his office, off the screen at points, as Steve Peters had pointed out with his video, and that he needs to get back to the middle of the ice. We joked that, I'm sure if you showed Leon the video coach, that today, he'd be like, oh shit, okay, I'm going to drive this puck to the middle. I am one of the strongest players in the NHL with the puck. Am I crazy to be saying what I'm saying right now? Where do you come out on the discussion?
I think a component of that is he's a married man now, a little bit older, grumpier,
Wiser.
lazier, right? Kind of like me. But that being said, I see what you're saying. He's not moving his feet as much as he should. And maybe a component of that is because, hey, I got Podkolzin to do the dirty work for me. I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily it, but I see what you're saying. He's not driving the middle of the ice as much. I believe his last game against the Flyers, he made a pretty bad giveaway once he gained the zone at the blue line. That wasn't very Leon Draisaitl-esque. He's trying to force passes through shin pads. He just doesn't look like the regular Leon Draisaitl, but like many of the Oilers, him especially, he could turn it on the flick of a switch. And here's hoping, like you said, Kent Johnson pisses him off tonight.
Let's go, Kent. I don't know what the fuck you said on Monday night to Leon Draisaitl, but say it again. I fucking dare you. Also, Lance says, well, everyone can take a day off. And once again, yes, it's just been a small stretch here from what I've noticed since I've kind of been back. Dry also says, I will be so pissy tonight. And then Lance also said, well, to be fair, Bouchard isn't one to call out someone like Draisaitl. He wasn't calling him out, dude. He was talking strategy for the start of 3-on-3 overtime. I also don't even like that ideology. Everyone can call out everyone if you're on an NHL squad. Bouchard's a pillar of this team. He's part of the big three. I would hope that, I don't know if that's in reality, but I would hope that Evan Bouchard could make a comment like that. Brett Holden, you got something for me? Damn it, it's Dre. I keep doing it dry. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just bringing in the lineup right now. We have a new lineup via Bob Stauffer. Give me 1/2 second. It's coming in right now.
Shout out the boy, Bob Stauffer. Shout out Dre. Shout out Dre. I do that all the time, man. I'm so sorry. I know how to say your name, too. Just the way it's spelled. I'm usually talking about Leon Draisaitl at the very same time. Also, somebody mentioned in here, Sean DePaz from What Chaos is not happy about Savoy's success in Edmonton. He's a diehard Buffalo Sabres fan. It's going to be tough to watch seeing your boy do things. There we go. Confirmed lineup, what we got tonight, courtesy of our pal Bob Stauffer. Top line, Matthew Savoy with Connor McDavid and Andrew Mangiapane. The second line, Vasily Podkolzin with Leon and John Jack Roslovic. Then your third, Matthias Janmark with Adam Enrique and Trent Frederick. Your fourth line, Laser, as I'm calling him now, Curtis Lazar with Noah Philp and Tommy Smokes. Your deep pairings, Ekholm with Bush, Nurse with Wallman, Kulak with Regula. Thoughts on Ike Howard sitting out this game tonight? We talked pre-gaming that I do think this will probably be the last game, yesterday, the last game that Ike Howard plays up with the big NHL club for a minute. Obviously, who knows, knock on wood, injuries always happen, but we know Zach Hyman now confirmed to come back Saturday against the Hurricanes. You got to send down Ike Howard and one other player. You could send down 3 players. I think Ike Howard's the obvious choice. He looks like he needs, to me, he looks like he's just 1 year behind Matt Savoy. Exactly what Savoy did. I called it marinating in the AHL last season where, going through the ups and downs. He's got to ride the bus, do what you got to do in the minors. And once again, I could see Ike Howard coming back to this NHL club later on this season. But I do think he could benefit from some time down there in the AHL. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Ike Howard, one day, the Iceman, will make an impact in the NHL. I agree with you. He does need a little bit of seasoning. He's not pushing the river. He's not pushing the play as much as I'd like to see.
He tries to 1-on-4 way too much.
And it's one of those things where the analytics don't align with the eye test on this one. Last game, he was kind of amongst the highest Oilers in 66.67 scoring chances for percentage. I didn't really see that. To be honest, I didn't really see that. So I think he needs some seasoning in the NHL. Playing top minutes would do wonders for his development.
I saw bits of it yesterday, so that does kind of correlate to some things that I saw, but it's just some of the mental that you got to play and, the defense in the NHL. And obviously, it's not saying he's a bad player. It's not saying he's not going to make it with the big club, obviously. But there's that. And then Alec Regula comes in. Oh, the other question. Is the obvious other name to be sent down? You think it's Troy Stetcher? What do you think it is? I don't know. Curious chat, play along
I
as
think
well.
Troy
Brett, you play
Stetcher
along as well.
is your prototypical number 7 guy. He can sit for weeks on weeks.
But you've got Emerson, you've got Regula.
That is tough.
Or does one of them?
Yeah,
Does Emby get traded?
I can't. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know, Bert. Give me what your answer is. Shot out of a cannon.
The odd man out for me is Alec Regula. Like I liked his play at the start of the year, and I liked his play into the preseason as well. But since coming back from his injury, he hasn't really done much. I honestly think Cam Dineen can do a better job at this level right now than Alec Regula. So I know the Oilers seem to be hell bent on keeping him and having some sort of, I don't know, like nerve, like scared that somebody might pick him up. I know they still have a year and a half left or whatever, 2 years on that deal. I just think that Alec Regula is probably the odd man out because again, you have Cam Dineen, I'm not saying Josh Brown is
Cam Dineen podcast.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Josh Brown's there too, and I'm not a big Josh Brown guy at all, but does have NHL experience and a guy that has a role when he comes into play. And you just signed that Finnish lad, Atro Lepinen, as well. So that can also have a chance. I just think that, like you said, Pangs, this is like Troy Stetcher's your perfect 7th. And I wouldn't want to put, if you trade Emberson, you're deciding between Stetcher and Regula as your 6th guy every night. Having to decide between Stetcher and Emberson is a little more palatable.
The only reason I mentioned Stetcher is that's the name that I've heard repeatedly. I think for me, the hierarchy would be Emby's my 7. No, Emby's my 6. Stetcher's my 7. Regula after that, so on and so forth. But anyway. We've seen the Oilers make do with Josh fucking Brown before. So, hey, they can, whatever. Some of the other boys got to play a couple more minutes. Or, as Dre points out again, someone else is going on IR. We are using IR all year. Revolving door of IR. That's been Liam's joke that we're just going to keep kicking the can down the road. We saw it with Kapanen. Now Nuge is hurt. No, we don't want that.
No.
We don't want that. No part of that. But I also wouldn't be surprised. Let's go now to our starting goaltender report, which brought to you by Dogpatch, folks, because we've got the Nation Night Out coming up very, very soon. Saturday, November 22nd. Tickets are $10, nationgear.ca. You come down to Dogpatch. There's exclusive swag bags. Brett, did you see what is inside the swag bag that they get? It is, I think we mentioned on ONE today. Let's just say it's Hope Will Never Died out the ass. It is awesome what we got made for the people coming down. Tickets, I don't even know if they are still available. They were running out. A lot of people bought them last pre and post. Dogpatch, there's limited seating. But we are going to fill this bitch up on a Saturday. We're going to pregame. We're going to postgame. And me and Tyler talked. Me, Brett, and Coombsy talked. We're going out afterwards so we can all hang out as a group. Little one-night nation vacation in the town of Edmonton. Sounds pretty fun. What are you doing Saturday, November 22nd? You don't have to get a $10 ticket.
Okay, I'm in. I'm in. Give me a braised beef ragu too, and I'm double in.
I'm getting braised beef ragu tonight, baby. Pull it up now, Bert. Let's do the tail of the tape between the two goaltenders, Calvin Pickard and one Jet Greaves. Pickard, just don't even look at it. Don't even look at the stats. I don't want to look at that. But 2-2-1. The stat I always say is the only thing that matters to me for backup goaltenders. And then Jet Greaves, who? Jet Greaves, who's 4-4-1, 289 goals against with a 901 save percentage. So I haven't seen Pickard play a lot of hockey in the last 2 weeks, obviously. But those stats, it's not totally what you're looking for. I feel like they are inflated or deflated, if you will. Patriots fan. Because that game against the Colorado Avalanche, I didn't totally go through that one and watch all the lowlights, but I did see the Parker Kelly breakaway attempt where Pickard just, again, looked like me playing goaltender out there and just made a little leg kick at the end to like attempt that I don't even know what it was. I don't want to look at it again. Calvin Pickard, right? He is what he is. He's a backup goaltender for the squad. He's been a contributor to this team now for a couple years. But I think the one thing that is different this year than years past, we talked about it a lot, that the eye test always felt like when Pickard was in the net, I didn't totally subscribe to it because it makes no sense, but it felt like it, that the Oilers defended better in front of Calvin Pickard. They tried harder in front of Picks. And then you fast forward to this season, And that has not been the case for the Edmonton Oilers. Kevin Woodley came on Daily Faceoff, I believe it was, with Tyler, and he mentioned that. So Pickard's expected save percentage this season, if it was an average goaltender playing in front of what the Oilers have done in front of him, started with an 860. Now, he's still below those numbers because it's been tough this year, but no one's going to succeed when the expected save percentage is in the 860s. The Oilers, and I think they know this, they have a fully loaded decor. They can play better in front of Calvin Pickard. And to be honest with you, I hope they feel bad that they've been hanging this guy out to dry. We all know he is beloved in the room. Our pal Cal, bounce back tonight?
I think so. I think every point in the last few seasons with the Oilers, when they start writing the ship and turning the pages, there's a significant story behind it. Last year, I think it was when Troy Stecher fought Couturier, so they started piling wins together. I think this season, it's that ass kicking by the Colorado Avalanche. They absolutely left their tendies out to dry. Poor Calvin Pickard. The team was already losing, and their minds were in the next game already, and then they pumped 5 on him. I think for Calvin Pickard, it's an ability to reset, and I think tonight is a good start for him to do that.
I see Bordzy is in the chat, and he says, is it just my stream that's lagging? I don't know, brother. Give it a refresh. Chat, help him out. Let him know. Are we lagging? I don't know. Then the other one is our pal. Not our pal. I don't even know who the fuck he is. Who the hell is Jack Reeves? We talked about this before. Panger comes in a couple minutes before pregame, and we're talking who are the goalies, Jack Reeves. He goes, I'll be real with you. I don't totally know much about Jack Reeves. I scrolled down, and the only thing I've written in bold is, who the hell is Jack Reeves? I'll be real with you. Until Monday's game, I did not know a lot about this man, but he's got a .901 save percentage so far this season. He's 24 years young. I saw online people talking about him making the Olympic team. I don't know if it's been that good. We also know people love to talk shit, but it's his third start in 4 nights. The numbers looked good, but the Oilers were able to beat him on Monday, obviously, right? He had a .792 save percentage in that hockey game. We know he's beatable. He's been good. It's Jack Reeves, Pangs. I mean, once I say this, I know he's probably going to, I'm not even going to say it, but thoughts on Jack Reeves. What do you know about the guy?
I know absolute sweet FA about this guy. Again, I just learned who he was last game, to be honest with you. But looking at his stats, I mean, 900 save percentage, 2.89 goals against average. They're pretty good. I can see why they're putting him in. And for like a young guy, he's 24. He's had the last 4 days to see highlight reel after highlight reel after highlight reel of Connor McDavid just dangling in his ass. So I think if for him, it's going to be a good test in his team to see if he can bounce back from that. I hope not. I really hope not. So I guess we'll see what happens tonight.
You're your stepdad. This is a Jack Reeves podcast. Gord, he's a solid young goalie. He stole the starter's job from Elvis. So again, he was able to get 3 starts in 4 nights here. That is quite the slight, I think, in Elvis Merzlikins, or quite the confidence they've got in one Jack Reeves. And then Saskiger Oil fan. He has the best goalie name. I will give him that.
Yeah,
Jack
sweet.
Reeves is a solid name.
Yeah,
Naming your
sweet.
kid Jet, that always plays. That always plays. Let's go now to the away lineup. In this one, we're talking about the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament that is going down in beautiful Jasper, Alberta. There you see it on your screen, January 23rd to the 25th. This is an event that I would love to get an invite to once, but I haven't been invited to this one ever before, and I have so much FOMO every time. So you, the viewer, if you want to be a part of it, you can sign up your own team. Teams can be 4 to 8 players. It's 4-on-4 hockey on the ODR, the coveted Jasper Cup. That's what they're calling it.
Nice.
Coombsy said that Team Oilers Nation lost in the B final last year. So that's pretty good. So Team Oilers Nation's got some, I mean, I guess you're not defending your title, but you got to grab that title, boys. We've always been losing in finals a lot recently. The Blue Jays, the Oilers, Oilers Nation. It's been tough out there. We need a W. But hey, if you're interested and you want to sign up a team, registration, you see it. It's still now open. So grab your crew, lace them up, and get ready for an unforgettable weekend out in Jasper. Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament, where hockey meets the Rockies. Beautiful. Bert, pull it up for me. What we expect the Columbus Blue Jackets lineup to look like this evening. Let me get this one right. Luca Del Bel Blues. Fuck, I might have messed that up. With Sean Monahan and one Kent Johnston. There he is, Leon. There he is. Second line, Dmitry Voronkov with Adam Fantilli and Kirill Marchenko, who leads the team in points this season. Your third line, Cole Sillinger, Charlie Coyle, and Mathieu Olivier. Your fourth line, Miles Wood with Isaac Lundestrom and Yegor Shinnikov. Your deep pairings, he averages 26 minutes and 45 seconds a night. Zach Werenski, we're going to see a lot of him with Ivan Provorov. Second pairing, Danton Matejchuk, who got his ankle snapped in half by Connor McDavid on Monday night. He's playing with Damon Severson, and then it's Jake Christensen with Dante Fabro. Who's your player to watch, Pangs, when you look through that roster?
Yeah, I will go with Adam Fantilli.
Yeah.
I've always liked him, just kind of in the junior days. Former third overall pick, I think, in the Bedard draft.
Yep.
I think he scored like 31 goals last season. He's not having like a crazy offensive season. So my player to watch, he had 2 points last game, Adam Fantilli.
Bert, who's your player to watch, or who's your line to watch? And give the people the reason why, because Brett was making me laugh my ass off earlier.
I don't really want to watch this third line because they have the ugliest numbers for forwards I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, no. Cole Sillinger, you're really cool. Taylor Hall, sick. Yeah, hey, remember the last time a forward wore number 4? Oh, we got traded 1-for-1 in a trade. Everybody hated him. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I want that number. Also, a quick shout out to my ex-girlfriend. I'm sure she'll love this number. Have you tried this one? Charlie Coyle, CC3. What do you think you're doing, buddy? Wake up. Like, what kind of forward A wears 3? It's also 2025. You can pick a number above 5. Grow up. And Mathieu Olivier, that's fine. But also, why did you have to pick the 2 numbers, 2 and 4? This line just turns into 2, 3, 4, 4. Read a number, maybe. I don't know. Could have picked 5, dork. But my player to watch outside of Kirill Marchenko, who's just an absolute stud. I think he's the most underrated player in the league. I mean, we saw him walk Mangiapane and just kind of runs and leads the offense for this Blue Jackets team. I'm going actually Luca Del Bel Blues, the name that you got right. He was the guy that kind of seemed to be tasked a little bit to watch and shadow Connor in that last game, and he did a pretty decent job. He wasn't the one that got victimized in the spinorama goal. I know Connor still ran with that game, but when Luca Del Bel Blues was on the ice and shadowing Connor McDavid, Connor wasn't really able to do much. So it's a tough task for a young kid, 22 years old. But he was able to do it well in that last game.
I like Backyard Burger said, go off, Brett. Lance said, damn, Brett, they have a family. And Jay said, typical Dodgers fan, which I do
Let's go
like
Dodgers.
a little bit of that in there. Also, I'd be remiss every time we play the Jackets in pregaming, I mention Cole Sillinger with the biggest fumble of all time and no longer dating Tate McRae. That is mother. That's Kid Leroy. Also fumbled, I do believe, but you'll never beat Kid Leroy. Cole Sillinger, he's above me. For me, I'm going to go with Sean Monahan. Your 1C. We've seen him a lot in Oilers history. He scored a lot of goals against the Edmonton Oilers before, and he's just a damn good, solid hockey player. Just a Nuge light. Just another Nuge out there. Let's go now. It's time for Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365. Download the app today, because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, please play responsibly. And as I always say, only bet what you're willing to lose. There is a special addition to tonight's bankroll. Dum-dum-dum-dum. It's Drake May, baby. He's the third leg. Your first leg, however, is one Darnell Nurse to get 2+ blocks at -220. Darnell has hit this in 5 straight hockey games. This is hit. I've been riding Darnell 2 blocks all season long. Had we done another tattoo bet after I started paying attention last year, Darnell also eats pucks, and he's been doing it this season. -220. It's not great odds. It's not juicy. You got to see one go through the hoop to kick it off, and that's Darnell Nurse. The next one, a little bit more juice here. It's Jack Roslovic. 3+ shots on goal at +140 for Roslovic. He's been ripping the puck recently. He's had 2, 4, 2, 2, 4 in his last 5 games. I'm going with 3. I'm chasing the juice on that one. And then your third and final bet. This one has hit In all 10 games this season for the New England Patriots, 10 for 10, Drake May, 200 plus pass yards. Continue to power through, because if you like good bets, if you like, it's 10 for 10 so far this season. They're playing the New York Jets, who just, remind me, Brett, traded Sauce Gardner, one of the best cornerbacks in the entire NFL. It's Drake May's world. We're just living in it. And you can actually parlay all three of these together. Shout out Bet365. And together, they are plus 331. So that's juicy enough for me. I'm going to let it ride. I also created an 8-leg spider for the Pats game tonight. Not even betting with my heart. I was betting smart. Brett even heard the bet. Panger, which of these three bets do you like the most?
Considering
It should be Drake May.
Considering I don't know foosball, I don't know football at all.
Do you know 10 for 10?
No, I don't. I'm so oblivious. I'm going to go with I think this one's almost a given. The Darnell Nurse blocks. Just considering the amount of giveaways he gives up, and then he just tries to make up for it. He's going to block those shots. I'm just kidding. I don't want to rag on Darnell Nurse. He's a block shotting demon. Let's go with the Nurse one.
Bert, what about you? Which of these three do you like?
Roslovic, 3+ shots. I think he's just buzzing. And I also, again, like that second line was all over the place, getting opportunities. The one thing that they were missing were shots, but I think this team, I think they're going to try and take advantage of the Columbus Blue Jackets and a potentially tired goaltender as well. So I think Jack Roslovic, 3+ shots. Then the 2+ blocks. Drake May stinks, dude. Overrated.
Don't make me pull up the MVP odds right now and who the number one front runner is at 23. I'm doing it again. What happens tonight?
3-2 Oilers miss on an empty net. They win, though.
Brett, what about you? Well, wait, anytime goal scorer.
Let's go with Savoy. Yeah.
I wanted him to say Yanmark. I really
wanted
him to say Yanmark. We're going Yanmark.
I'm going Yanmark.
Bert, what about you?
6-4 Oil, and let's go with David Tomaszek. Why not? Inserted back into the lineup. I think it'll be like a garbage goal.
Okay, I'm going to go 31-17 for the New England. I'm just kidding. We're going 4-2.
Oh.
Pickard allows 2 against. 1 will be a stinker. But Pickard's going to make some big saves for the Oilers. And an Adam Henrique goal. I think I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
I think I'm feeling that tonight, Rico. And that'll do it for us. Pre-game with Bordzy tonight. Once again, reminder, come on down to Dogpatch if you're thinking about it. We're going to have some braised beef ragu. I'm so excited to eat this thing. It looks so good, and I've never had it before. And then, of course, we will be live right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube channel for Oilers Nation After Dark. Me, Pangs, and Bert. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Good luck on the Bet365 Battlegrounds. Go Oilers. Go Patriots. Go Drake May. And we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Peace out, everybody.